This didn't happen to me, but to my parents. My parents are pretty decent people who've never bothered anyone, to be honest. They always kept to themselves and never had trouble with neighbours, etc. Anyway, one day they're at home watching TV, and the phone rings. My dad picks it up, and it's just some breathing on the line. He says a few times, "Hello? Hello?" They don't answer, and hang up. Fast forward a few days, and my mum is home, alone. I had gone out to a friend's house, and all my siblings are out with my dad. The phone rings again, and my mum picks up. This guy, whoever he was, started telling her he knew she was home alone, and that he'd do all sorts of things to her, threatened to rape her, and rob her, and all sorts of stuff. My mum at first was a bit shocked at this, but she just put it down to a prankster going through the phone book. Then this guy starts telling her he can see her, and he knows she's in the living room. We have two phones, one in the living room and one upstairs. He starts describing what she's wearing, etc. My mother, of course, freaked the fuck out, and told him to never ring back or she'd call the police. Here's the weird part. Our house is pretty private. We live on a row of attached houses, all with their own private back gardens and 7 to 8 feet tall walls around them, and the only way you can see in the living room is from the back garden, or if you're looking over the back garden wall. But my mum said she had seen no one from the living room window at that thing again at the time. She was pretty freaked out and rang my dad crying, and he darted home. Then, a few days later, the same thing again. My dad picked up the phone this time. They start asking all sorts of personal questions. Then they say my dad's name, which starts to freak him out. They started saying stuff like, "Is that your wife beside you?" Then more rape threats, and not just to my mother, but to my father also, and stuff like that. They said they'd tie him up and make him watch, and vice versa. My dad is one of those usually laid-back types. Like I said, he rarely wants to hassle people and keeps him to himself most of the time. But my mum and brother said he lost the plot. Like he was pretty close to reaching through the phone and ripping this asshole's throat out. Telling this guy he'd fucking kill him if he ever rang again or touched any of his family. Anyway, having enough of this, my parents rang the police and they came out to the house. Unfortunately, the calls were from a withheld number, but the police did what they could. But we never found out who was making those calls. Thankfully, they never got another call like that again. But I'll never ever forget how hysterical my poor mother was that day. To this day, she still won't answer the phone if it's a number she doesn't know, and she had a huge purebred German Shepherd to keep her company.